up, team? This is Dr. Tim coming at you guys with another self-care Saturday. So for this Saturday, what we're going to be talking about is wrist mobility and wrist pain. One of the common things that we see in the clinic a lot of times, or the common complaints that I get from CrossFitters at the gym, is either getting pain in the wrist kind of at the top right into here, or on the other side right into there. Now this can be in multiple different positions. It could be in the front rack position, could be in that overhead position or a pressing position, or even in a push-up position, okay? So if you're looking to increase some of that wrist mobility for those positions, or you're noticing some pain there, go ahead and follow along with these videos and try them out. Okay, team, so the first ones that we're gonna go through here to kind of loosen up the wrist a little bit is gonna be some lacrosse ball work. You guys know I love that lacrosse ball. So we're gonna come back here. No, you don't have to have a post like this, just a wall that you can kind of place the ball first on this kind of extensor side of the forearm, okay? We're gonna place the ball into there, and then we're gonna place the forearm up against the wall and then apply pressure into that area. Now we're gonna scan the area until you find an area that feels really tight, and then I want you to stay on it, okay? From there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the wrist and we're gonna go through some extension back, keeping pressure into the ball, and then flexion back the other way. Now I want you to hit about 10 to 12 in this area, and then scan the area again and hit that in another 2 spots if you can find them. Okay, team, so now that we got that extensor side with the lacrosse ball, we are gonna hit the flexor side as well, okay? So for this one, I recommend just grabbing a box at the gym. For today, I'm just gonna use a table. You could use something similar if you're doing this at home as well. We're gonna place the ball in that kind of flexor area, that underside of the forearm. We're gonna take our other hand and place pressure down on it and scan the area like we did with the other side until we find that tender point. Now, if you're on a box, kind of let that wrist go over the side of the box or the table at home. And then all we're gonna do from there is apply pressure, and then again, go through that same flexion and extension type motion. Again, with the other side like we did, we're gonna do about 10 to 12 up and down in this area, scan the area again, and find another 1 to 2 spots and do the same thing. All right, team, so after we get that loosened up with the lacrosse ball on both sides of the forearm, now we're gonna go through a rotational exercise to open the wrist up with range of motion. So I'm gonna scoot back for this one. We call this a wrist CAR. CAR stands for controlled articular rotation. Basically what we're gonna do in this position, 2 different directions. We're gonna take the wrist and stabilize the wrist with your other hand so the forearm doesn't move. You're gonna extend down as far as you can, okay? Then we're gonna deviate in as far as we can. From there, curl the wrist up. From there, we're gonna bring it back to center, really reaching up with that wrist, out to the other side, down, really reaching down, and then back to center. After doing 5 in that direction, you're gonna switch and then just go in the opposite direction. Each time we're doing this, we're going nice and slow and really reaching through that range of motion. Okay, team, for the last exercise, what we're gonna do is a banded mobilization for the wrist, okay? Now, at the gym, you can use one of the posts at the rig and just wrap one of those bands around. For this, I'm using just one of these red bands that we have at the gym, and that would be a great option, okay? So what we're gonna do from there is we're gonna get that band right in that wrist joint, okay? Right in the joint there. From there, what we're gonna do is go onto all fours, come forward so there's pressure on that band pulling backwards, okay? All we're gonna do from there, keeping pressure down with those fingers splayed out, is we're gonna rock forward like we do our wrist stretches in the gym, hold for a second, and then back, okay? So we're gonna go back and forth there, really pressing down that wrist as we go into that position and allowing that band to pull that wrist joint back into the position it should be in. I recommend going through this one about 15 times.